Okay, welcome to another episode of Jackass Express. We're your hosts. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Sigourney Weaver.
I'm Tip.
I'm Johnny.
And we have a very, very special guest coming in, Brandon.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey. Now, if for all our listeners out there, I'm pretty sure you've heard us talk about this guy Brandon, and he is indeed the very Brandon who likes to pick up on recently divorced women or
Now, I've been defending you. I've been defending you these past podcasts for these wild accusations, and my claim was that
you are the most egregious of the offenders here, Patrick.
you have definitely been in there and made a lot of jabs at him.
I have the least of jabbed, I should say, but I have found the answer. The answer is that Brandon is an opportunist. That was my
Yes.
Opportunist, yeah.
That is how
Some would say playing on vulnerability. I'd go with that.
Okay, fine, an opportunist. That I think was a lot better. You're there to kind of leap in and
save the day,
so to speak.
Yes.
Make them feel a little less worthless.
Something like that. Some call it knight in shining armor. I think it's more like, I don't know. Who knows? Something offensive.
We'll think of it later.
We'll figure it out. I'm not
That'll
sure
have to be my tagline. Someone's gonna have to come up with a good tagline for that.
Sounds pretty good.
I'm not a knight.
They'll have to dub it in over there.
Right?
But wasn't it Brandon that told me that you can get a pretty good deal for a single mother?
Yeah. Well, I mean, goodness, there's at least 3 of them I've dated.
That's the first beer of the podcast.
Yeah, that's our patented beer.
Oh.
Unfortunately, it's 9 a.m. where I am, so
Yeah.
It's okay.
I can't
Technically,
drink a beer
it's
without-
still Thanksgiving weekend, so for you guys.
Well, that's true. It is a
So,
holiday.
Think about that.
drinking a beer at 9 in the morning is okay. As long as it's coupled with, like, turkey chili or some kind of turkey leftover.
Is that because we're near the border? You have to say chili?
Yeah, I'm being purposely racist here.
Yesterday, I went to the El Paso Saddle Blanket, and I found a shirt for my cousins because they're in from Kansas, and it says "Juarez, Mexico," and it has a little revolver on it.
Oh God!
And it says not Kansas.
Not in Kansas. I've always liked that one shirt. It was for New York, and it said "Welcome to New York, get the fuck down," and it had like a picture of a revolver on the front. And I thought that was like the coolest shirt ever. I'll have to find a picture of that. Yeah, it was like, yeah, "Welcome to New York, get the fuck down." I've always wanted to get that one.
Yeah. So, real quickly, before we go into too many topics, there was one story that was promised to our listeners from our last podcast with Tip and Johnny regarding Julian's engagement party.
Right? Yeah, the infamous engagement party where none of us were there for.
I wasn't there for this. I don't know anything about it. But Julian doesn't talk to me half the time, so who knows?
Well, Patrick was there.
Julian, who is that? I have no clue who you're talking about. No, I'm just
And from what I remember, Julian throws this engagement party because him and Audrey got engaged. And
As people do.
Johnny and I, we go, and I give Johnny a ride, and we decide we get there. It's like, there's like 10 of us here. Let's each buy 2 buckets because each of us will have 2 beers, and Johnny and I had this all planned out on how much everyone was going to drink. 2 beers and 1 shot each.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. Well, it was a momentous occasion. I mean, it was Julian's anniversary party. We thought it would be a blowout. It actually was, but
it was a blowout for me and Johnny. Because,
wait, so this was anniversary party, not engagement
party? No, it was
party?
Engagement.
I'm sorry.
Engagement. Okay.
So, what ended up happening is we show up and we have the buckets of beer in our hands, and when they give you the bucket, it's already all open. We show up and then nobody wanted to drink, so Johnny and I,
bit the bullet.
between the 2 of us, had 8 shots and 20 beers, I think it was.
20 beers?
Yeah.
Really, 20 beers?
Yeah, it was a lot.
Tip, we lost count after 2, Tip. Chase. We lost count after 2.
Oh,
No, between the 2 of them.
28. That sounds like on the verge of
how many come?
alcohol poisoning.
What it was is that between the two of them, they took down 16 beers. So they had at least 7 to 7.5 beers apiece, and then I think they threw away half a beer.
Because Patrick
bad.
did help out a little bit.
I tried, but I had April with me at the time, so it wasn't like I could go crazy with them, and I was like, damn it, woman, go home.
But it's not like you drove either.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
I think I had like 2 beers before I started getting the stink eye that they give you.
Yeah.
Damn that stink eye.
So,
Either way, it was ridiculous because, I mean, you know how Tip's driving is, and I thought I had a choice between going home with April and Patrick or going home with Tip. I don't know why in God's green earth I chose Tip.
I don't know why I chose.
I was telling you, John, I was like, why don't you come with us just in case, and we'll make it over to Village Inn and all that good stuff. I mean, no offense, Tip, but I was a little bit concerned at the time, and it was just one of those things.
I was when we got to Village Inn, I was concerned.
Now, what I really
I didn't know how we ended up there.
Now, what I really want you guys to discuss is where you guys wound up that night.
Well, Audrey and April have a friend named Annie, and Annie was telling us she was gonna go to a certain store and buy a product. So Johnny and I decided, we're gonna go help. We never made it to that store. We went to the wrong one.
Oh, great!
And then we were walking around this store. And, apparently me and Johnny walked down a very special aisle for 2 young men such as ourselves.
You might have to just come out and
I'll leave it at that.
No. You can't just leave it at that.
You know what? Let me because these are the guys that were talking about my birthday last week, so I think it's my turn.
Okay.
Here we go, Tip. Here we go.
Annie went to a pharmacy. They forgot she went to a pharmacy. Is what happened here.
Pharmacy?
Yes, but
no,
Johnny
it wasn't
and
a pharmacy that she went to.
That's not what we heard.
Johnny
Tip.
and Tip.
No, that's not at all what we heard.
Johnny and Tip went to a porno store, and
a quality establishment.
And in search,
I'm not so sure how quality this one was.
In search of okay, so it was a rundown, nudie store or whatever. In search of Annie, they walked down the gay aisle, the gay porn aisle. And I'm pretty sure that they caught the glance of a few poor people. They were probably thinking about going down that aisle themselves and thinking, wow, how progressive of those two to be so open about walking down the gay porn aisle. And I remember them coming back to Village Inn and just having this very disappointed look on their face, and that was hilarious. That was probably one of the best stories.
It was very disappointing. It was very disappointing.
Yeah, I still can't believe that sucked that you guys ordered that much alcohol and then you two pretty much had to take it.
Yeah, well, we were like, no beer left behind, and sure enough, we did the best we could. I mean,
yeah, we did our damnedest, and
that damn rule of ours, damn rule.
Okay, I found a picture of the shirt we got my cousins.
Oh,
I'm gonna.
Speaking of which, I also found it's called "Welcome to New York." I just put it in the Dropbox.
Okay,
I just put mine in the Dropbox.
In the images, Juarez, Kansas. Oh, okay, it ain't Kansas. That's for sure. Oh man.
Oh god. All these pictures will go into the link down. So if you're listening, they'll be there on the blog sometime this week. So I know I've been falling behind with that, but they'll show up.
It's okay. No one's really been able to hear it online, anyways.
Yeah, I tell you.
Oh
iTunes
my god,
has been a fucking whore.
They really have. And you know what? I'm so disappointed because you'd think that they'd have it all figured out. I mean, they got it. Down packed because everybody's throwing out podcasts and stuff like that, right?
You would think.
But no, not iTunes. No, what I do is that I upload it to this one unnamed channel that I'm not going to mention here in fear that they might not let us continue to upload for the time being. But every time it got uploaded,
I want to abandon them. I think they're the problem.
I think they are too.
Maybe so.
And we're going to explore that very, very, very soon.
Yeah.
And almost the first day that we posted up the previous 3 podcasts, episode 2, 3, and 4, each of them came out with like 50 copies of each.
It was retarded.
It was terrible, and not one of them played. Not one of them played.
Well, a
which
couple
was
will play,
ridiculous.
but you had to like search through, like you had to sift through all the bullshit and be like, okay, this one works, this one doesn't work. And then it's not like, even though we were the owners and the administrators of this particular podcast, they did not leave it. It's not really user friendly where you can just go in and delete what you want. No, you have to go through this long bureaucratic process and telling them, you know what, we are the owners of this particular podcast, and this episode, and et cetera, do not work. So could you please, for us, delete them? And then we have to wait for them. They're like, okay, yeah, all right, we got your word.
Now,
and then
now I will have to say that iTunes, Apple, they got back to me almost the second day after I asked them to remove all that stuff. But the hosting site that I uploaded it to, I still haven't heard from them.
Yeah.
So that's
they definitely
frustrating.
need to update their customer service for sure.
Yes.
On a lighter side, I just uploaded a picture of what me and Johnny had bought that
The
night.
Budweiser bucket.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Okay,
We each
our
bought
rant is
two.
over.
Oh, two of them, right?
We each had two of
So
those.
that's 12. Oh, you mean like two each?
Two each.
So 12 and 12.
And then I bought one, and I never finished the whole thing. I gave the
God.
rest to Johnny and to Tip.
That's
Yeah, it was
Well,
a
12
mess.
pack sounds like a pretty good start to a night.
that is a pretty good start. that's like when Brandon and I we like pregame for our cookout.
That just means you get to sleep on the kitchen floor. That's always cool.
Yeah.
God, that was a horrible night.
Wait till I tell you about my newest story of New Orleans. That was a
Do
hangover
it.
night.
Okay.
Do it.
Oh man. Oh, wait, now you want me to talk about it now?
Unless
Yeah,
unless we
now.
should probably go into like our previous story, but it's okay.
You can finish the other story. It's fine.
Well,
Was
We'll
there
do
any-
the other one after this one
okay.
Jeez,
because you know
okay.
we haven't really heard Brandon at all.
Okay,
so.
yeah, we haven't heard the New Orleans story. Let's
I want to hear the New Orleans story.
New Orleans happened 2 weeks ago. When I left Hawaii, I had to leave at 6 p.m. Hawaii time, so I flew overnight and ended up in Biloxi or in Gulfport, Mississippi. And then when I got picked up by my friend Tad, we went to Biloxi to his hotel real quick. I took a quick shower, changed, and figure I'd been flying for like 15 hours or something ridiculous, and ended up in New Orleans not long after that. Probably, I don't know, maybe inside of 2 hours. I landed, changed, showered, drove to New Orleans, and it's like 3:30 in the afternoon. We go to New Orleans, and first thing we do is we wander around Bourbon Street a little bit, and then we're like, well, shit, we're in New Orleans. We better start drinking, huh? So 4 o'clock in the afternoon rolls around, and we're drinking these things called hand grenades.
Oh, jeez.
And for anybody that's
God.
been to for anybody that's been to New Orleans, Jonathan may know about this.
Yeah.
There's these little green things. They look like a hand grenade,
Yeah.
and then like with a big stem on top, and you actually drink this whole thing. It's, I don't know, probably 12 ounces of alcohol, but it turns out the primary component is Everclear.
Yeah.
Oh,
Seriously.
So, I mean,
these things.
You're drinking grain alcohol. This shit could fly a rocket.
Yeah, this stuff will fuck you up for sure.
Yeah. So, but they make it taste so good, you don't know what you're doing. It's just like Jello. And so, we're watching some guy that's kind of shitty on the guitar play his music, and after 2 of those, he's gotten real good. And
This guy
we're starting to
sounds like
request.
fucking
Sounds like he knew where to set up.
right.
Yeah, we're requesting songs and paying the guy, and he ends up playing Buck Owens on Bourbon Street. So you can see that he was versatile in his shitty music playing.
That's nice.
And so we were waiting on our buddies to get there, and 2 of our buddies get in town or into the bar, and one guy, he brought his brother, and they're already lit. They'd been wandering around Bourbon Street for a couple hours before us, and so they get in there, and we start drinking. They get this other thing at the same bar that's also famous, called some sort of Gator, something or other. I don't know. They start drinking it, and it tastes like absolute shit. And so by this point, I'm thinking, well, whatever. I just could get another hand grenade. So now I'm on number 3.
Oh man.
Whoa.
And we walk out of the bar, and by this time it's gotten dark, and there's all these weird, creepy street performers in New Orleans.
Yeah, seriously.
And there's this like card table set up with a hole in it, and this dude's got his head poked out, and it makes it look like his head is attached to a baby doll. So he's like this creepy fucking giant baby bobblehead thing, and So he ends up, our buddy with the gator drink he's like, oh my God, it's a fucking baby. And so he walks up to the baby and he's like, here, baby, drink this drink. Trust me, you'll like it. And so he puts the drink in front of the baby and the baby starts drinking it.
Oh, God.
And at this point, I'm already just drunk and I'm like, what? What am I seeing? This is insane. And so we go wandering along through Bourbon Street and surprisingly, we didn't see any boobs. I was a little bit disappointed in that.
Okay.
Wrong time of
Beads
the year.
beads were flying, but boobs weren't.
Okay.
It normally doesn't matter. Bourbon Street's usually a filthy place. And we find ourselves in another bar, the same kind of bar that serves the hand grenades. And I'm like, well, hell, I'm out. I need another one. So I'm on the fourth one, and now it's maybe
Are you
7
sure
p.m.
you just didn't go to the same bar?
Oh no, there's 3 of them. They call it Tropical Isle.
Okay.
It's a nice,
okay.
Get turned
it'll be a
around
nice
somewhere.
plug for them. But so we ended up at one of the ones at the other end of Bourbon Street and ended up drinking. I had my 4th one. Tad was on his 5th one.
Oh my
And,
God.
yeah, so we're getting stupid. Remember, it's like 7 or 7:30 in the evening.
Yeah. It's very
Oh my
sad.
God.
I know. So we're retarded, and the baby had his drink. So I'm like, well, I need a new one. So we're sitting there drinking these things, and I finish number 4, and I'm just out of my mind. So we end up back in the
I really
street.
want to go get one of those.
They're unreal. And so we end up out in the street, and at this point, I'm sure you all are well aware that when I get drunk, I spit on things or people. So
Yes, yes, I'm very aware of that.
spitting has commenced. And
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, have you been spitting?
yeah, and my buddy Tad, he's basically having to guide me along through Bourbon Street so I don't end up packed in a crowd and lost forever. And we end up standing out there with one of our other friends, and I apparently wanted to smoke cigarettes, so we found a guy in a hole in a wall. See, now this is where things start coming in and just flashes.
Okay.
I don't really have a whole lot of memory.
A guy
I
in a
know.
hole in a wall. I just want to
I
clarify
remember
that.
now. There's like a dude in a hole in a wall on the side of a building, and behind him is a rack of cigarettes. And I remember walking up to this dude and we bought some. And
God damn.
I didn't buy them. Keep in mind, this whole time I was poor as hell because I just moved from Hawaii.
Yeah.
So every dime we spent, my buddy Tad paid for.
Okay.
Wow.
So I got a really.
So you were on a pretty expensive date there, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah.
Wow.
And
He's already got
so
you liquored up.
so we ended up with these Jarum Blacks. We were smoking those out in the middle of the street. Now I don't remember smoking them. I'm just told that I did. So not long after that, we go to a bar where there's like a riding bull.
Okay.
I remember seeing the riding bull, and the whole time I was bouncing around trying to dance and kept telling everybody I wanted to go to a strip club, and they were not listening to me, which turns out was not okay. I really wish we could have gone to a strip club.
Yeah.
So
Brandon was on the prowl for some more single women.
yeah, so
Single mothers, I mean.
Yeah, and those have at least 3 kids. So
Yeah.
Hey, guys,
strippers don't have souls.
guys, just real quick before we continue here, I think we should clarify the fact that the baby in the background is not another mother that Brandon's visiting.
Okay. Yeah.
I just find
That's
very convenient that that's happening.
Okay.
yeah, that is kind of convenient.
That baby in the background is actually the baby that I found in New Orleans. He's still with me. No, that's my nephew Zachary.
Okay.
Sounds like he wants his mom.
Some of that can be edited out, I hope.
I think it can be.
As long as it's not while I'm talking, I guess.
I say leave it in. I mean, that's your theme
It
music right
adds
there.
to the story about this drunk baby, and
Yeah.
Also, this is not the baby that we gave alcohol to.
We at the Jackass Express don't condone giving babies alcohol, of course.
not at all.
None.
Or drinking and driving.
Now, if they take it on their own, then that's whatever.
Hey,
We're not
they
gonna
find
give
their
to
way
them,
to
no.
it. That's right.
That's out of our hands.
If a baby makes it to the liquor store, then he deserves
Anyway, Brandon, continue. I'm sorry.
it. Yeah, so we ended up at this place with the riding bull. And at this point, Tad, he's five Everclears into this thing. He's a little bigger than I, but 5 hand grenades is going to knock anybody on their ass.
Yeah, seriously.
And so we ended up looking at the text messages he was sending from this place the next morning, and his text messages says they get progressively more stupid sounding, and he's like, I don't know where we are. I'm scared. There's a bull. I see a bull, and there's people dancing, and I don't know what's going on. They just get more and more ridiculous and less coherent with like T9 editing the phone messages, so that who knows what those words were supposed to be.
Yeah.
But so we end up we're there at this bar, and I do remember taking a shot out of a test tube that had been placed in some girl's giant cleavage.
Nice.
Oh,
God.
Yeah.
boy.
Whoa.
And once again, I didn't pay for this shot. I guess Tad paid for it. Who knows? So, not long after that, the next thing I remember, we were standing in the street, and two of our other friends decided to take off. And by this point, we had already lost the two guys that we had met in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
They were gone. We had no idea where they went. And the shitty thing was, we were supposed to be staying at their hotel room. They were staying in a place off of Canal Street.
Yep.
And we were going to drive, park in a different garage, and then just stay in their room. And we never did find them. So this became a giant problem. And we couldn't get a hold of them on phones. It turns out they ended up like passed out in a gutter and found their way to their room way, way later in the evening.
Oh
But
my God.
Figure, it's about 10:30 p.m. now. We are belligerently drunk. And we end up out in the street, and it's just me and Tad now. And I can't walk anymore, so I'm using his jacket as a leash, so I can trail behind him. And I end up stepping in a puddle. And Jonathan knows a puddle in New Orleans can be shit, piss,
Oh,
jizz,
yeah, it could
puke.
be
Who knows what it is?
anything. Yeah.
I stepped in a puddle with my little they look like Vans slip-ons, so it soaked right in, and it was just absolutely horrific. And even while I was drunk, I thought, this is disgusting. Oh no, there's more.
Moral of the story is Brandon has an infection on his toe now.
I actually don't have toes now.
Oh.
Oh.
No. So, and then I remember stepping in the puddle. The next thing that comes into my memory is this room with lots of blue light everywhere. And I'm like, where the hell am I? And the next thing I know is a pizza gets placed in front of me. It's a giant piece of pizza. I'm talking like, I don't know, the size of a plate.
Wow.
And I
Oh,
eat this
God.
thing. And then I told Tad I need more pizza, so he went and got me another one.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
And he gets the other one, and he knows I like spicy stuff, so he took the top off of the crushed red pepper and just poured a mound of it on the pizza.
Oh.
In my drunk state, I thought, okay, this is okay. I'll just eat
Seems
this.
legit.
Turns out
Oh,
that was a
God.
bad idea, and I didn't remember it till the next day when it came out as an afterburner, and it was a fucking mess. We're at this pizza place, and apparently there was turtles everywhere. Like the place was made of glass, and there was turtles inside of it or something.
Okay.
I don't know. This is what Tad remembers from his experience at the place. I remember blue lights. He remembered turtles. Who knows what's going on? And we leave there, and we're standing in the street again, and I'm like, dude, I have to eat again. And I figure I've just eaten 2 plate-sized pizzas. And I told him we need to go to IHOP. So we go to IHOP and eat again.
Yeah.
But at this point, it has been hours since I spoke anything that was really coherent to anybody that wasn't him. And so we get there, and I'm sitting at this IHOP, and this lady walks up. She's got an apron on, and like I remember a bandana or something, and I thought, oh, Jesus Christ, it's Aunt Jemima.
Oh my God.
So in my drunk state, I'm trying to call her that and ask her for pancakes or something.
Oh shit.
But she has no idea what I'm saying. She's like, all right, baby, it's okay. And so fucking Tad is like, I guess Tad orders for me. I end up with crepes filled with Nutella.
Okay.
Oh my
And
God.
I ate those things and
So
powered
you
them
and
down.
this Tad guy are pretty close.
Are you going to be making a walk down that aisle at the store too one day?
only if his wife approves of that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And so we eat a full meal at IHOP after having had 2 full giant slices of pizza. And we go out into the world. At this point, I've sobered up enough that I can see straight again. And we get out there, and then he's still just mind-blowingly drunk. And I forgot, when he gets to a certain point of being drunk, he gets into a sprint.
Oh shit.
He just, out of walking, he'll just out of nowhere go sprinting somewhere. So we're looking for our car, and the only thing I remember about the building is there was a giant number 13 on where the parking garage is. And note that I'm saying car because we didn't know where the hotel was either. Tad had a plan. I thought he was trying to drive. His plan was actually to just sleep in the car. But we ended up trying to cross Canal Street, and at the moment Tad stepped off the curb, he bolts across the street like he's running from the Armageddon. And
from Aunt Jemima.
And now I'm trying to run behind him, and my head's like sideways. I'm running crooked in an attempt to try to follow him and not fall into a car. And we're sprinting through alleys and around corners and through buildings, and finally we find this building with the number 13. I don't remember how we got from surface level up to the 8th floor where the car was, but the next thing I remember is we're standing behind this the car. We're peeing in the parking garage, observing what may become a domestic violence dispute very soon.
Oh my god!
And we're both like hyper vigilant drunk guys. We're like, oh god, we gotta go help these people, but we can't even walk. So we decide instead to hide in the car and peek out the windows and make sure this guy doesn't try to beat up this chick, and then we black out. So I wake up at 6:30 in the morning, and Tad is passed out in the front seat. I'm passed out in the back seat, and what's going on is the car's running, the air is on, and Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas is playing.
Okay.
And I'm like, how did this happen? And so I wake up Tad, and I'm like, what's going on? Why are we in the car, and why is Christmas music playing?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I woke up at like 2 in the morning, and it was hot, so I turned on the car in the air, and then I thought I needed to hear something soothing, so I put on Christmas music. And so for the next like 4 hours of our sleep, the car ran, the air was on, and Christmas music kept us blacked out.
Oh,
and what was ridiculous is we weren't even remotely hungover. We ended up just sitting up. I moved to the front seat, and we drove back to Biloxi the hour and a half away, perfectly sober.
Wow.
And we progressed on with our day like nothing had happened.
Wow.
That is quite the epic tale.
It's
amazing that you came out with no hangover too. That's a feat on its own, considering what you just drank.
And the
I don't
car
understand
started.
how Everclear didn't fuck me permanently. The car was already started, so he just put it in gear and we left.
Oh, I thought that you had left it on all night, and I was like, what the hell?
He did. He left
did,
the engine running. I'm surprised it didn't
Okay.
overheat or something, but it didn't.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
Wow.
That's going to be a very fun link dump. I can say,
man, yeah, no kidding.
Did you drunk baby?
I think I covered everything.
And of course, the baby has like a bottle of like cerveza or tequila or something.
And a gator drink. Who was finding all this shit at the same time? Well, there you go. There's the hand grenades. That's what they look like.
Yeah.
That happy face on the bottom of the grenade is a lie. You were not happy. You were just belligerent when you're done with one of those.
Oh man, I can only imagine that.
You need to go back, Jonathan, now that you're older.
Well, yeah, because like the last time I was in New Orleans, it was pre-Katrina, and
Right.
I was maybe 17 or 18. I was 18 at the time, and I remember borrowing my sister's her friend's expired driver's license. So it wasn't a fake ID; it was just an expired license of a friend of hers who happened to look kind of similar to what I did. And all I had to do was just remember his name, where he lived, and that was about it. So luckily, when we were going like bar hopping, I would just show this ID, and the guys would just kind of flash the flashlight. You just see a guy with glasses, and they're like, "Okay, man, you're in." And I'm like, "Sweet." So I get in, and just start getting shit-faced on like anything I can at all, and just whatever money I had on me, I'd be like, "Give it to me." That was kind of the cool thing about New Orleans. But nowadays, I think it's probably a little bit more strict. I'm not sure now on the ID checks.
Right.
Because I remember in El Paso when we had the ID checks, they actually had like a scanner, right?
They actually didn't do
It was like an
all
ID
that
scanner.
when
Yeah,
I was
so
there.
I'm pretty sure they have that
maybe because
now
we were using
in-
military ID
in
too.
New
Though. When you see the
Orleans.
military ID, they just kind of let you in regardless of your age.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Regardless, yeah, for sure. Huh. That would make sense for sure. Yeah. But yeah, that at least was my time
That is not okay.
drinking underaged illegally.
Oh.
Not that we condone doing that, but
No, of course. You can feed it to babies then too.
too many
Then
times.
once you turn 21, it's
Giant
very, very
bubble-headed
okay.
babies.
Yeah.
There you go.
Actually, Brandon, you're the last story that we have not heard. Well, besides Julian. But
That's true.
But I don't think Julian's 21st birthday is really worth hearing that much because I
Well, you guys made me tell mine, and
I don't think
since mine was the first, nothing really happened.
Yeah, but then I don't know. I guess Julian would be like, well, we went to the Union and bought some Lone Star.
Oh man! Once again, can't defend himself.
That's why he's got to come on to the podcast and say his piece. That's what we need him for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
We'll get him.
Eventually, yeah. Eventually he'll come on and then can probably defend himself. But anyways,
Yell at him.
I don't remember what we did for Brandon's birthday because at least I know at that time all of us were already
That may-
Oh,
of
you're gonna
age
ask me
except
to
for
do this?
Patrick.
I didn't have a 21st birthday party
Go on.
because, I think honestly, my
But do we
makeup
make
for
up
that
for it?
was
I'm pretty sure we made
the,
up for
the
it.
epic alcohol incident at your mom's house with that barbecue because my 21st birthday was actually spent at a funeral. Hey, there's a way to depress the podcast, huh? So, no, I didn't actually have one because I was still in Arizona.
Wow.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
there was no party. I got back. I had a drink after.
That's
after I got
right.
back.
I
That was
remember
it.
that. Okay, I remember why you had to go back to Prescott. Yeah, at the time. So I guess technically, yeah, we did make up for it with our belligerent, ridiculous night. To kind of bring this story together, one day I guess Brandon and I we decided, we should probably let's just have a cookout because it was in the summer. We weren't at school, and what better way than just to come over at one of our houses and just have some steaks and drink a few beers. That was the original plan. And I remember Brandon and I was like, okay, let's start sending out the invites and just get the guys to know what's going on. And everyone was like, okay, yeah, we'll be there maybe around, what time did it start? Maybe like 6 or so?
Yeah, probably about that.
I think that was when it...
Yeah.
Okay. So the time was for 6, so that gave Brandon and I a good afternoon to kind of prepare and everything. So we went to the store, bought our steaks, and pretty much bought everything. And then like, okay, while we're cooking these steaks, why don't we just have a few beers? Well, like 1 or 2 beers definitely turned into about 4 or 5 at the time. So by the time everyone got there, we had a pretty good buzz going on. And I remember when we got there, we still needed everyone to be there so we can go do another alcohol run, so we can start getting the main ingredients for like the Bahama Mamas that we wanted to make, and God knows what else. I think we needed a lot of rum at that time. We had a big rum fix. So we go to the liquor store, and then I actually remember this is where Tip decided to buy the Blue Hawaiian mix.
Ew.
Oh,
Right?
Yeah, who drinks
Yeah.
Boone's Farm anyway?
Well, we had always wanted to have a blue Hawaiian,
Yeah,
but we didn't know how to make it, so...
And it was mainly for the girls, I thought.
I think that's what
Yeah.
we did. We bought it for the girls too, and we didn't really know
and
how
I
to.
drank it.
We didn't really know. Yeah, we didn't know how to make any drinks with a Blue Hawaiian. So what does Tip do? He just drinks the whole fucking bottle himself. So Tip's just kind of polishing off this Blue Hawaiian while Brandon and I were fixing this Bahama Mama. And then in the meantime, everyone is just kind of having rum and Coke, and then rum and Sprite, rum and Dr. Pepper, rum and God knows what else, right? And
Rum.
finally these things, rum and rum or whatever. And so finally these things get made, and then we start drinking those. And by the time we had the Bahama Mamas made, then the steaks were pretty much done. So everyone was all eating, and then the night pretty much begins when Brandon has like a tray full of steaks, and he's trying to tap on the window of the door, because like my door in the backyard has a bunch of windows on it, and he tries to tap on this window with his foot, and he fucking kicks this shit like he was trying to break down the door.
No, that is not
Okay.
true. There was no kicking. Your fucking window was not seated properly.
I guess not, because this shit just... And we're like, what the fuck just happened? And then we're like, oh shit, already a window's broken. So we just cleaned up the glass and then put paper over it, and then it's good as new. And so we start eating the steaks, and as soon as we're done eating, that's when we started doing shots, and not just any shots. That's when we started the Irish car bombs. And at the time, Brandon was like, guys, he's like, you gotta try this shit. It's called like an Irish car bomb. We're like, what the fuck is this shit? And I remember that's why we went to the store too, to get the Baileys and all the other stuff. So we had our Guinness, and then we had the Baileys. And the thing is, at my house, we don't really have proper beer glasses, so we use like these giant fucking glass, like regular drinking glasses. And usually when you do a car bomb, it's not a lot of beer, right? It's probably like half a glass of.
It's a pint.
Is it a pint? Is it a full pint?
It's a full pint.
I've seen it done differently in other places where maybe it's like half a pint, and then
those are people that don't know how to drink.
Okay. Well, anyways, so these glasses are definitely at least a pint, if not a little bit more, and we fill this shit to the top of just Guinness, and then like we start dropping them, and I think I had maybe 5 or 6. Like we definitely did a lot of them, and at that point we were just fucking blasted, and we're just like yeah, fucking yeah, and just going crazy, and then someone's bright idea was to start an outdoor fire. And at my mom happens to have this outdoor fireplace.
Her mistake.
And yeah, her mistake for buying that damn
her
thing.
mistake, definitely. Her son's just turning 21.
No, we didn't just turn 21. Well, okay, we were like 20, 22, 21 at the time. So yeah, we're all legal to drink, and we had a free place to stay. So anyways, and. So, actually, I think it was Julian. Who wanted to do the fireplace. I think it was him. He started the whole thing.
Of course
it's always Julian. It's always.
And of course, this fireplace has like a protective screen over it. But, we don't care about safety at this point in time. So we just make a fire without the safety net, like the safety cage. And this thing's going off, and it's just like huge. It's pretty big. And I think we just added too much wood and everything. So the fire's pretty big. And at that time, I remember Patrick just going like to himself. He's literally just going
That's
back
a
and
direct
forth.
quote.
And he's just going and Brandon is just kind of on my couch, just going like, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Outdoor couch.
And then, yeah, the outdoor couch. And then I'm there, and I'm just like, hey guys, I'm fucking Jackie Chan. Check this shit out. And I'm running, and I'm starting doing flips and cartwheels over this fireplace, just jumping over it. And everyone's like, yeah, Jonathan, you're Jackie Chan. And I'm like, yeah, guys, I'm fucking Jackie Chan. And then at one point in time, I don't even know who called Audrey and April.
Oh my god.
And
I don't know
why they even came to our house. But I don't even remember doing this. But anyways, they told me that I was apparently the most gracious host ever, because when they came in,
yeah, you are very polite when you get drunk.
Because when they came in, and I was like,
You-
"Welcome to our humble abode," and please, if this is your first time at my, at my place, then let me please show you around. I was like, this is the kitchen, this is the dining room, this is my room, this is blah, blah. And I was showing them all of these different rooms that they've obviously been in before. And then I didn't even bother to show them where Patrick and, Julian was at the time. And
Thank
so
God.
I'm just doing all that nonsense. And of course, when Brandon and I get pretty drunk, we start swearing like sailors.
When don't I do that?
But I think even more so.
Yeah,
definitely more so.
When we're drunk. When we're drunk, we definitely start swearing a lot. And so we were going at it and just, and I remember everyone's just being drunk, and then Brandon ended up throwing up on the ground and passing out on the outdoor couch. So what do? I get the hose and I start hosing off the ground, and then I hose off Brandon.
I remember being so cold.
He was just there, passed out on this couch, and there's vomit on his shirt and everything. I was like, oh man, Brandon looks fucking dirty. So I'm like, just washing him and washing everything else. And then I think I remember just showing everyone out of the door and just leaving Brandon at, outside. And So Tip left, and then obviously Johnny and Patrick and then Julian, they all left. And so I remember going back and looking for Brandon. I was like, oh man. And I went back to the couch and he wasn't there. I'm like, what the fuck? Where the hell's Brandon? So I'm like, I'm just walking around everywhere, all around the house, and I don't see anything. And all I see is like a pile of clothes on the floor and everything. And I walk into my room and I see him passed out on my floor, like naked. Actually, he's only in his underwear, but at the time I thought he was just naked. And he was just wrapped up in my comforter. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so I'm like, well, whatever. So what did I do? I grabbed his clothes, and then I take off my clothes, and I put them in the washing machine. Because I decided that these clothes are too dirty.
But see, now, when I woke up the next day, I was like, where the hell are my clothes? And who washed, dried, and folded them?
And that's what I did. Get this though. So like, and that's the thing though, is like I cannot go to sleep or something like that. Even if I'm, just really drunk, I end up just, I'll take the time to actually take a shower or, whatever. Or if my clothes are really, really dirty, I'll go ahead and put them in the wash. So I put these clothes in the washing machine, and of course, while I'm waiting to dry, I decide to just pass out on the floor. So I pass out on the floor, and then I wake up, and the clothes are done in the washing machine. So I put them in the dryer, and then I pass out again. And then when I wake up, the clothes just finished drying. So that's when I decided to fold the clothes, and I put them on a stool. And then I walked out into the kitchen, looked at the mess, and I'm still feeling really drunk. And then I go to where the piano used to be in my room, in that room, and then I fall asleep there. And then that's when I wake up in the morning and just feeling like hell. I mean, the feeling in my head was basically just like like atomic bomb just like went off in my fucking skull.
It was our first real hangover.
Yeah, it was our first real hangover. And
yes.
If I can compare the suffering, it would probably be to like the people in Hiroshima. It was just that bad. It just felt so horrible. And I'm bear crawling on the floor because it hurts just to even try and stand up. And I go to my room, and then Brandon, he starts tossing and turning. And he's like, what the fuck? Where am I? And I was like, dude, I feel like hell. And he's like, that's what he just said. He's like, and I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So like, I fucking commando crawl to the bathroom, and I'm just like puking my guts out. And of course, Brandon's like, oh, I gotta go too. So he goes to the other bathroom, and then he starts throwing up and everything. And we're just being miserable.
But
and then
you remember how we were
like,
yelling across the house, like, oh, God, are you still puking? I'm still puking.
Yeah. I was like, I'm still puking. And then I'm like, damn it, I'm just dry heaving now. Where's the damn I was like, where's the vomit? And then Brandon's like, I just got bile over here. It's just bile. And so we're just coughing up lungs. And then...
Now, as I recall, the next morning, me and Johnny went over there to help clean up or something to that effect.
Well, Johnny was the first phone call.
Yeah. Johnny was the first phone call, right? But I remember before they got there, though, because Brandon and I, we decided, like, man, this place is a fucking mess. And I remember my mom was coming home that day, too. So we were just trying to police the whole place, just trying to clean it up as much as we can. And then I remember just going outside, and, like, of course, like, the vomit was already dried and stuff. And I was like, son of a bitch. And, like, just the smell of it, too, made me throw up again. I was like, fuck. So I'm, like, out there, cleaning up, and then finally just hosing that shit off. I was like, God damn it. And then just, just trying to clean it up as best I could. And then, the kitchen was a mess. There was like tequila bottles, limes, salt, everything imaginable was out there.
Well, when we go on a bender, we know how to go on a bender.
It was retarded. And then I just remember we were feeling so bad that Brandon and I, we were so desperate for cures. We just went online and started Googling, like, what was the best way to combat a hangover. And so we found, like, the top things was bananas and, like, vitamin C. And I remember wanting to get charcoal pills, but we couldn't get them. So we call up Johnny, and we're like, hey, man, you really got to come through for us. And could you please get us some bananas and, like, vitamin C and whatever. And And so Johnny, you know, the good friend that he is, brings us over some bananas and like vitamin C vitamins. And I think, did you bring some oranges?
Well, I just really bought the vitamin C, but they were tropical flavors, so
that's right.
You got like
tropical
green, orange, and red.
That's right. That's what it was like the Flintstones variety.
Which is what we needed because
right.
we were
Flintstones
infantile.
is good.
Definitely. And then of course I think all the bananas really serve to do is just make your throw up taste better as it comes back. You know?
Well, it replaces
Possibly.
the potassium in your system.
I guess that too.
Because
but-
if your potassium drops too far, you go into shock or something. I
was
know.
way more
I guess
concerned with
so.
it not tasting like bile anymore.
Yeah, and that definitely made it a little bit more enjoyable. And then I remember, like, Brandon, where I was like, dude, how the hell are we going to fix this window? And he's like, I don't know. Why don't you just open up the yellow pages? So I look up in the phone book, and I try to find, like, a repair shop, right? And I call up this one company, and I remember talking to him, and I was saying, do you guys happen to do, window repair on Sundays? And he's like, no, sorry, we're only open for businesses, right? We can only come for businesses. I was like, okay, man, let me level with you. My mom's coming home in a few hours. We had a few too many drinks, and we broke a fucking window. And we need to get this fixed. He's like, I wish I could help you, bro. I really do. I was like, okay, hypothetically, what if I told you I worked at my home? You know, like, that technically my home is also my office. Is that a gray area where I can, technically just tell you, okay, this is my office. Please come here and fix this window. He's like, no, it doesn't work like that at all. I was like, oh, come on, man. You got to do this. He's like, I'm sorry. I really can't help you. So I can come tomorrow. And get it done. And I was like, all right, yeah, just come tomorrow. I'll have to bite the bullet. But, thanks anyways. So he hangs up, and I was like, all right, man, I just got to tell my mom, just level with her. So I called my mom, and I was like, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, the guys, we all came over and had, quite a bit of drinks. We wanted to be safe. We didn't want to go to a bar, so that's what we did at home.
I remember. That was a good spin on the story right there.
And she was like, oh, okay.
Mother approved.
And then I was like, and so I remember she was just saying, and then I told her, I was like, and we broke a window. We broke one of the windows in the veranda door, but don't worry, I already taken care of it, and I got a repairman to come tomorrow, and we'll pay for it. And she's like, well, as long as you guys are safe, that's okay. And I was like, oh, thank God. I was like, oh my God. I was waiting for the hell to come down on me, because really, hell hath no fury like Asian mothers,
Right?
And my mom can
Because
get
she would have slipped
angry.
into like 3 languages to yell at you.
Yeah, she would have yelled at me in 3 different languages, and it would not have been pretty. And I probably would have not seen the light of day for a month or so. It would have been.
Well, I remember when you had that sand painting or whatever it was, and you flipped it by accident. I thought they were gonna kill you. Like, I literally thought, oh man, Jonathan's parents are gonna kill him.
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah, I shook the sand painting or whatever. And
Oh God.
yeah, they were really angry at that. But
Now,
no.
as I recall, when me and Johnny showed up, and we found you and Brandon like that, I remember that you two were saying, guys, just take all the liquor. We're never going to drink again. This is horrible. I hate tequila. I hate all this. No, just get it out of here. We've decided we're never going to drink again.
Yeah.
1 week later.
Oh man. It's kind of funny because we even opened up my dad's like liquor cabinet too, and we opened up his 40-year-old bottle of gin that he had when he bought in the Navy at the Class
that
6.
Oops.
And
Yeah.
I don't know how Julian can drink that.
And of course, Julian, being the weirdo that he is, he's like, I want a gin and tonic. And we're like,
Oh, it tasted
man.
like Pine Sol. Every time I drink a
It
gin and
was
tonic,
so
I think
bad.
of the black lady with the gap in her teeth.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
And Jemima?
No.
No. The other one, yeah. The Pine Sol. Just look it up, Pine Sol lady.
I'm
already on it.
You can put it.
She's
yeah,
all
you can put the
fine, so
link down.
honey.
Yeah, but
Oh God.
I remember saying that too. I remember it's like, just get all that alcohol. We don't want it. We don't want it. You guys take whatever you want because we don't want to see it. We don't want to smell it. But actually, it's to this day. I cannot drink Guinness at all. You know, I have no problem with
Bailey's?
Oh shit, Bailey's. Yeah,
Yeah,
I really
Irish
don't
car
have.
bomb.
I don't really have problems with the Bailey's, but now it's just the smell of Guinness. It gets me back to remembering.
And you know what? Guinness is one of my favorites.
Me too.
So now when Chase comes back in, we got to get him Irish car bomb.
Well, that leads into our next segment. Apparently, Chase and I have been deciding what we're going to do when he gets back in.
Uh-oh.
First is Rib Hut,
Oh yeah.
and second is a house party, and that's all we have so far.
My mom actually
is,
suggested the house party. She's like, "We need to have a cookout when you get here." I'm like, "Okay."
Now, your mom saying cookout
Yeah.
doesn't mean people breaking windows.
No, but I think she generally knows that quite a lot of drinking is going to be involved.
place.
Yeah.
Especially since she's back at the old house.
Yeah, this is actually
Really?
back at the old house. Yeah,
She moved back in?
Yeah.
yeah. Did you guys help her move back in yet, or it hasn't happened?
No, I called her, and she keeps telling me, oh, yeah, when I find a truck. And then she calls me and asks me other things, like about routers and all this stuff. I said, yeah, but what about the truck? Oh, yeah, when I find it.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
eventually
I don't-
she will move into the old house.
Oh, a legacy
Yeah.
continues.
Yes, it does.
I'll actually be
God.
on the same side of town and not on the other fucking side of town.
So
Or
did
the
she
world.
not end up selling it or what?
No, she never sold it. It was
she was just renting
it was renting it.
Yeah.
I could totally go off on this, but I would just sound insanely racist. And I can't go. It'd probably be
Let's
off
not-
air.
I know what you're going
Yeah,
to
let's
say,
not
too.
be racist.
Oh man.
I really want to know now.
It's to the clientele she rented the place to. And basically they fit every bad stereotype possible.
Okay, so I'm looking at the real Bahama Mama that someone put up. Then I'm looking at the Boone's Farm version that I put up.
No, that's a Boone's Farm Blue Hawaiian, what you put up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's... Never mind, I got it confused.
Yeah,
But let me tell you about that blue Hawaiian. Did you know that whole bottle was 6%?
just 6%.
Yeah. But you couldn't taste it. All you tasted was the Kool-Aid. And when you're drinking that and whatever else we were drinking, it does some damage.
I guess so.
Yeah, it pretty
You
much
guys
is pure
remember that-
sugar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of sugar pretty much. That stuff tasted
Yeah.
horrible.
It really did.
Yeah, see,
How come-
this picture of an Irish car bomb is basically half a Guinness and then the Bailey's.
See, now we did that
So
with
we were
like
doing-
triple that Guinness.
Yeah, we did a whole fucking glass and we literally downed the whole damn thing.
Yep.
I mean, we basically shotgunned a whole bottle of Guinness coupled with the
How
whatever
come on my
stuff.
Google search, when I search for Pine Sol Lady, Aunt Jemima is the other... How do I take a screenshot?
Control print. Right?
Yeah, print screen. Control print screen.
Print screen. Control print screen.
Well, I'm looking for that button.
Which is actually very funny. I remember that since
know.
I don't no longer use.
Dude, it's way cool on a
Windows
Mac to
anymore.
do a print screen.
How do you on print
Yeah.
screen? I didn't even figure
Oh, I
that out.
found it. Oh, I have to press Control F and print screen.
Oh jeez. Is it command something?
On a Mac, it's
By Wall Street?
command. Let me open my Mac and I'll tell you.
Okay, I can't figure this out.
Oh yeah, I think it's command, option, and like 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
you got like different
These are your
options. Like
computer
you,
gurus.
if you do it with the number 4, it like actually gives you a little crosshairs mouse, and you can select how much of the screen you want to do a print screen.
Nice. It's way more exact.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
I found a picture
It's definitely more
from
precise.
Brandon's trip to New Orleans when he met the
Uh-oh.
lady.
What?
Really? Let me see it.
Yeah, I found a picture. I'm uploading
Okay.
it right now.
This
Uh-oh.
is gonna be ridiculous.
This is a Brandon and his friend Tad is his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon, on his date with his friend Tad, went and met Aunt Jemima. And there's photographic evidence.
Hold on.
It is loading. Yeah, there it is. There it is. I gotta see this.
That's funny because Tad's a bigger
Yep.
guy. Yeah, that's what it was. We were sailors for a
Oh,
day.
God.
Yeah. You guys are sailors for a day.
Oh, Pat O'Brien's. That's a bar in New Orleans.
When April's grandfather, who lives in Kentucky, always goes to Mardi Gras, And this last year, he brought us back some drinks, and he brought back 2 of those huge glasses that they make hurricanes in.
Yep.
And with the knowledge of how to make the hurricane.
Oh, that's sneaky.
So he made me one, and he made April's mom one, and through intense, vigorous determination, I was able to finish mine. And April's mom couldn't even get through like the first fourth of hers.
They will rock your world.
And then she gave it to me. So I finished a whole one and 3/4 of another one. And I'm at April's parents' house. And I'm just sitting there
And
like trying
lo
not
and
to
behold,
move.
Patrick's married.
And this was after I was married.
Oh,
See, the
so
trick
they
is you
wanted
gotta...
grandkids, is what you're telling me.
That must have been it. That must have been it.
See, I
Surprised
think
the
they're
Ninja
pushing
Dog
for
didn't happen.
grandkids.
The Ninja Dog.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
You gotta explain
God.
this one.
Now I gotta link dump this one. Great.
Yes.
A couple of years back, April had asked me to house sit. She always asked me to house sit. And this one time they were going to Long Beach for 4 days, and they needed somebody to watch the dog.
Okay,
Well, I
I
don't know why
remember
they-
this. Yeah, keep going.
I don't know why they chose to pick me, but I decided I would. And at the time, I was discovering that I like film. I like filming things, and so I thought it would be funny if I dressed up as a ninja and chased the dog around and recorded it to show I was
That's right.
terrorizing the dog. And so this video was only supposed to be for April. That was it, just to show her that I was
Now it's
terrorizing
all
her
over
dog.
the
And
place.
then one day, I don't know if it was April's sister or if it was April, she showed it to her parents, and the parents were like, "Is that our house?" And I was like, "Oh, crap." But they liked it. They actually liked it, and they were laughing, and they're having a good old time, and oh, God.
Oh man.
That was
So
a,
So
that
we'll
was a
have
fun
to put
weekend.
the Ninja Dog video up on the internet for everyone to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we'll have to do the Ninja Dog video. Yeah, I remember that. I was laughing because it was just so ridiculous.
If you look at the picture I just put, I think it's very
I
fitting.
saw that.
I'll have to change the music.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
What is this?
Oh yeah, because we can't have copyrighted stuff now.
Ninja
Yeah.
Dog is spying on you. Yeah.
Wow, I can import liquor from Kazakhstan.
Why
I
would
didn't
you
even know
want
they
to?
had their.
Yeah, right.
Why would you want?
I don't know.
Last
wouldn't
thing,
you?
when I hear Kazakhstan, that's the last thing I think of is alcohol.
I think of rogue generals from Soviet Union.
I think of Borat.
Yeah. That too.
Borat. Yeah.
For this, for Jonathan's coming home party, I'm looking up for some.
Jonathan's coming out party?
Special.
Is that what you just said?
Maybe, I don't know.
Coming
I know he's
out to
coming home.
America.
Oh.
So you're already out in Taiwan.
No.
Oh.
No.
No.
Well, I was just looking for some special liquors to order and have shipped, because at Amazon you can order liquor now.
That doesn't seem
That's
legal
right.
at all.
You can pretty much get anything on Amazon
Yeah.
now.
Well, because they don't use the post office, so it's awesome. And you know what's even more awesome? My FedEx guy, he doesn't card me.
Oh,
FedEx
nice.
FedEx driver is a drug dealer and he doesn't even know it.
Just in case none of you know that, it's by comic Mitch Hedberg.
May rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely left too soon.
Yeah.
I'm searching for alcohol on Amazon and it's not suiting me. What do I do?
Okay.
Booze in the search?
No. You go to the food, the grocery section. It's in grocery, health, and beauty supply, and press grocery and gourmet food.
Yeah.
There's like a
And
whole
then-
convoluted process to doing this.
And then you'll go down to beverages
Beverages.
and click all beverages.
And clap your hands 3 times, spin around in a circle,
Say Bloody Mary.
And then
and sing Twinkle Dinkle Little Star
Twinkle, Dinkle.
backwards.
I misled you.
You have. I see nothing in beverages.
You just got to go all the way down to the main menu of the grocery and gourmet
Yeah.
food, and it's called wine, beer, and spirits.
Wine, beer,
Wine,
and
beer, and
spirits.
Or
I don't see wine, beer, or spirits.
I don't know why you just don't copy and paste this link and just
That would work.
give it to him that
That's
way.
probably a much.
That would have been a lot easier.
Oh no, I found
Yeah.
it. There it is.
Well, I wanted him.
Now I know.
Well, and I just sent the
Look at that.
There
The
it
leak.
is.
69,000 alcohol bottles is what this thing says.
Yeah.
Bless it.
That's important.
That's
It's like I'm looking at shootload of
pretty
tequila.
ridiculous.
Holy crap!
Look at this Crystal Head vodka. That's just weird.
Oh yeah, I just saw
I
that.
want-
Yeah, Crystal Head vodka.
Junior Johnson Midnight Moon Apple Pie Moonshine. It comes in a mason
That's a lot
jar.
of
Apple
words.
pie moonshine. What a ridiculous name, dude. I see that. Junior Johnson Midnight Moon Apple Pie Moonshine.
Imagine getting drunk and then ordering that.
I couldn't order that sober.
It's
Old Smoky Tennessee Moonshine Cherries.
Oh, God.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
What kind of cherries?
So,
Man synth absinthe.
I had this thing called a cherry bomb at my girlfriend's cousin's birthday.
Okay.
I thought they were just regular cherries. I didn't know they'd been soaked overnight in vodka. I ate like a handful of those fuckers.
God.
See, how was it again?
That's like the plums in plum wine.
See,
Those will jack you up.
Yeah, pretty much. It's cherries.
does it
in
matter what kind of vodka? Just straight vodka? Does it need to be flavored or anything?
I have no idea. I just ate them and it tasted like cherries. And next thing I know, I'm laying on the floor going, I didn't drink anything.
I wonder what kind of cherries.
Did you see the Hello Kitty wine? What the hell?
Hello Kitty wine. Really?
Yep.
Yeah, it's there.
With that, my friends, though, we are past the hour mark.
Yeah, definitely.
Who put this banana in here?
That's what she said.
How does a banana get there?
Dirty, Johnny. Dirty.
Okay, my friends.
wow.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to call this to a close.
Yeah, it's getting there.
All right.
All right, yeah, we'll have to.
We will have our next edition next week sometime.
So we just.
Well, Brandon, it was awesome. It was awesome having you here.
Yep.
Yes, Brandon.
Uh,
Wow.
Yep,
what
thanks
a
for coming
difference.
by.
Yeah, we'd like to have you back
Please.
on again for sure.
I'll be there next time, next week or something. Because I'm living in
Yeah.
a hotel room, so I don't have anything better to do.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Next week,
Yeah, next week we'll get it all figured out.
Okay.
when we have our next episode. Next week, I definitely should not be as busy.
Yeah, me either.
So
Next week I will be because it's the beginning of finals week. I will be.
This will be a much
well,
needed
if you're
break.
not on this cast, then it's okay.
It'll be our chance to talk about Tip behind his back.
Hey.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably.
Oh, real quickly,
That's what friends
Go.
do.
So if you don't want to be talked about, you have to
real
be.
quickly, when is the next Jackass
Yep.
Express newsletter going out, Patrick?
That's right.
We are in collaboration upon its release, and it will have many interesting things to be read in the future.
I got some shit for
Yes,
you.
we are all working very hard.
I'm stocking some stuff
That's
up.
my official statement.
Okay.
There you go. Good. And don't forget, guys, yeah, if you have your content, just send it to jackassexpress@live.com, and I will feature it in the newsletter for the upcoming week.
Nice.
Any questions or comments? I guess we should have informed people. There is a Jackass Express Facebook page now,
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, we are also on
so
Facebook.
you can meet us there fairly soon. You will be able to meet us on
That's true.
Google Plus,
Submit
There
your
you go.
questions.
Blogspot. Submit your questions to the Facebook page.
We'll
and
answer them on the air,
get
yeah.
to 'em.
There's nowhere on
And
the
you're-
internet where you can't find us now.
Yeah.
We have saturated.
So please criticize at your discretion.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. All right, so we'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in, and we bid you adieu.
So long.
Later.
Have a good one.